Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So today's video I'm talk about the July monthly forecast for Pisces people. Guys, apologies from my side. Today is 19th of July and I'm talking about the July forecast. So this month I got a little delayed, but be assured, next month onwards, I'll try to make this monthly series by like within the first week of every month. So because we are late, I'm late. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the descending order, which means the event that the movement which is happening on the 28th of July. I'll start from there and then, we'll come to the movement that happened on the 13th of July. So 28th of July, Mars, which is a very important planet for you. It is the planet for your wealth. It is the planet for your luck. I mean, your destiny. It's a very important planet. It holds two very important portfolios. It is coming into the your seventh house of your marriage, and it's coming in the seventh house of your business partnership. Mars was, since the last 2 months, the lord of your luck and the lord of your wealth was in conjunction with Ketu. So yes, in terms of wealth, in terms of your luck, you've seen a fair share of a challenging time in the last 2 months. But now the good news is there that it's finally, this conjunction is getting over, which means, in terms of wealth, that this movement would be an excellent time. You would see your money would grow, you would see your savings would grow, you would see your bank balance would grow, your assets would grow, your net worth would grow, your net worth in the society would grow. Okay, so even your speech would be, become better in terms of your close family. Okay, so that's mostly about the wealth. So in terms of wealth, it's a very good time. It's a very good movement. Now let's talk about the ninth house. So ninth house is the house of your luck. The ninth house is the house of your father. The ninth house is the house of your religion. It is the house of higher learning. It is the house of long-term travel. It is the house of your coach. It is the house of your bosses. In like, whatever boss, with like whom you report to. So, I mean, basically ninth house is the house of destiny. Like, that's the most important house. So that planet, the lord of that house is now coming into the seventh house. Okay, so which means there could be a possibility around, traveling with your spouse. There could be a possibility of traveling with your business partner. Okay, you would see a lot of luck assisting you in terms of your business in partnership business. So partnership business would flourish. You would see a lot of support of luck. You would see a lot of support of luck in terms of your money growing. It impacts the second house also. So, this is a great time in terms of your luck. So, in terms of even your, father relation, that would be excellent. You may go for a higher learning during this time. Okay, you may go for a long-term travel during this time. So, you may find a great mentor, and that mentor, even one suggestion from that mentor, you may find some guru. Okay, maybe some like astrologer, maybe some tarot reader, maybe some numerologist. I'm saying you may find some guru with one advice. You can see a lot of expansion happening in terms of your business, in terms of your wealth. Okay, so beautiful transit. So even the partnership business, you would see a lot of wealth coming in through that. Your partnership business, you would see a lot of expansion happening. Now let's move on to the aspect of Mars. So Mars' fourth aspect would be on your 10th house of profession, which means excellent times in terms of profession. Uh, if you're expecting a IJP, if you're expecting a promotion, this movement would, support that. If you're looking for some kind of a hike, this movement will support that. People who are not in a job, okay. Now, this is the time when you can start, you can expedite the search and you would see, you would land, you would get a good, handsome job with a handsome pay package. Good job. This is also seen now. People who have applied for a job outside their organization, this is the time when you can get the, communication. So, even if you are in business, you would see a lot of help in terms of, your business expansion. There would be a lot of energy, there would be a lot of aggression around the area of profession. So great times around profession, guys. Now, next aspect of Mars would be on your luck, which would be on your ascendant. So great in terms of your, like you would be very athletic, and great aspect on the ascendant. And the next aspect would be on the second house of wealth. So, be assured, like in terms of your wealth, in terms of your luck, in terms of your relationship with your spouse, and with your partnership business, this is going to be taken care in terms of your profession also. These are very important areas. So this movement of Mars would take care of all these areas. Only one thing you have to be careful, guys. It's the Lord of second house, which is a Marak house. Okay, now it is coming in the seventh house. Then that's again a Marak house. So you got to be a little bit careful around the health. Okay, so just make sure. Second house is also about the food which you consume. So just see that you're consuming healthy food. So that's the only precaution. Otherwise, it's a beautiful transit. Now, one thing, this movement of Mars, okay, would affect the people who are with Pisces rising, okay, and passing through with Mars times, which is Mars Mahadasha, Mars Antardasha. So only then, whatever I'm talking, you would see. Otherwise, if you're not passing through Mars times, then it would be a drop in the ocean. It would be hardly a 10 to 15% impact. Okay, so that's mostly about the Mars. Now, about the 26th July. This is about the Venus. Again, a beautiful movement. Venus is getting in conjunction with Jupiter. So beautiful times in terms of this is a very auspicious yoga. This is the Lakshmi Narayan yoga. And guys, right after this series, I'm gonna come up with the entire Lakshmi Narayan yoga for all the risings. So request you to subscribe my channel so that you don't miss anything. So this yoga is like this conjunction of Jupiter and Venus is happening in your fourth house. So fourth house is the house of your home. Okay, it is the house of your happiness. It is the house of your contentment. It is the house of your vehicle. It is the house of your mother. So you would see a lot of good things happening around this area. You may go for you may buy a new home. Okay, you may buy a new vehicle. Your relationship with your mother, the health of your mother would improve. Your contentment overall with this movement would also be at its peak. It's a beautiful transit, guys. Okay, now if you notice, from the fourth house, both the planets, Jupiter as well as Venus, are giving an aspect on your 10th house of profession. So, which means excellent time in terms of your profession. You would see luxury because of the aspect of Venus. You would see luxury at work. You would see, promotions. You would see hikes in salary. You would see, growth. You are a business owner. You are an employed person. So you would see excellent times in terms of your profession. So if you are guys, planning for switching, if you're planning for a higher paying job, or if you're planning for, some kind of a promotion or, IJP, this is a beautiful movement, guys. This is completely supporting your profession. So great time. Also you would see that there would be a lot of religious practices, would happen at your home with Jupiter and Venus being there. So you would also see a lot of, whatever religion you follow. So you would see a lot of religious practices happening at your home. So this is a beautiful transit. Okay. So again, people with Pisces rising, okay, passing through with either Jupiter times or Venus times, then this transit would impact you. Okay. Otherwise, it's a drop in the ocean. Okay. Now moving on to the next date, which is 18th of July, which is Mercury getting retrograde. Okay, so Mercury is a very important planet for you. It is the lord of your fourth house. Okay, and it is the lord of your seventh house. So it holds very important portfolios. So Mercury, the lord of your fourth and the lord of seventh, which means it's the lord of Kendra. It's now getting into Cone. So that's a beautiful placement when the lord of Kendra is getting into the Cone in the fifth house. So this transit, though it is retrograde, but this transit is not going to impact you. However, you have to just make sure that, if you're going for any kind of a real estate deal, like buying a home, so just reevaluate whether you're buying it at the right market price, or just reevaluate the decision. If you're buying for a vehicle, just reevaluate. Okay, so this is a good transit for you. This is not, though it is retrograde. So the only thing what would be required is just reevaluation around the areas, around the areas of your, like, business partnership. So if you want to get into a business partnership, okay, just reevaluate that. Around your marriage also. Not reevaluate, but you can just rethink about, maybe the time you're spending with your spouse is less. So just think about, how to make your married life better. So this is a very auspicious transit. So again, who gets the impact of this transit is the people, who are passing through with Mercury times, Mercury Mahadasha or Mercury Antardasha, and with the Pisces rising. So this is like mostly about the Mercury. So this is a good transit. Now, 16th of July, Sun, okay, which is the Lord of your fifth house. I'm sorry, sixth house, and is coming into your fifth house. It is, this is a little difficult transit, which means that, Sun is coming 12th from its own house. So what is sixth house? Sixth house is the house of your debt. So that means you may face issues related to debt. There could be a loss in terms of debt. Okay, whatever debt you take, maybe it is not utilized in the right place. That is seen. Now, in terms of, if you're like, you have some kind of enemies, you would be overpowered by your enemies. You would be defeated by your enemies. So if you are applying for any kind of a competitive exam, okay, maybe some academic exam, maybe some, exam related to your promotion at job, okay, you might not be able to clear that. This is seen, like, if you're going for any kind of legal cases, there could be a challenge, or you might, lose the case. Okay, there would be a little bit of health problem, because it is, so there could be a problem related to digestion. But the good thing about this movement is, like, because Sun is now in the fifth house, so in terms of your romantic relationships, in terms of your kids, in terms of your creativity, in terms of your startup idea, in terms of even stock market, that all these areas you would see good growth. However, in terms of the sixth house, like whatever things that are the sixth house rules, which is the daily routine also, I forgot to mention. So you would see a challenge around your daily routine also. Maybe now your boss might say that, you started reporting late for the meeting, so your daily routine would also get impacted. So, this movement also, impacts people who are passing through with sun times, sun Mahadasha or sun Antardasha. Otherwise, just chill, just relax. It has like 10% impact on you. No issues around this. Now, 13th of July. So, Saturn is getting retrograde. Okay. So, Saturn is the lord of your 11th house of, your connections, your gains. Okay. And the lord of your 12th house of losses. So and it is like getting retrograde in your ascendant. Okay, which means you got to be little, you have to reevaluate your professional network, your social network. Maybe, you have some toxic people, some negative people. You have to reevaluate around that. You have to reevaluate your professional network, like, what kind of professional network you have, or you have to, maybe increase those options, or, increase around the networking around the professional network. So in terms of, your network, you would have to do a reevaluation, rethinking, like how do you, make it better. Okay. Now in terms of the 12th house, which is also the house of losses, the foreign land. So there would be a possibility that there would be a lot of movement happening, in the next 5 months, till the time Saturn is retrograde. So people in the domestic land, they can go to another country abroad, or people who are abroad would come to their country. So there would be a lot of, re-evaluation happening in this area. So Saturn being retrograde in your ascendant, which means ascendant is something which is like your existence in the world, your social perception. So, so ascendant is something which the body which you carry inside the washroom. So you have to, like, re-evaluate around that. for that body, maybe you have to reevaluate the grooming, your own attire, your own personality, your own health, your own mental health, your own well-being. So you have to now, it means, with this movement, with this, like after 13th of July, this is the time for you to reevaluate yourself. Like, what are the things, uh, you know, like, for example, what kind of food is not good for your health? Okay, stop that. What kind of, things that are good for you? Maybe some, maybe 15 minutes of meditation, maybe 30 minutes of a workout. Okay, maybe going just for a walk, or maybe, spending time with your kids. So anything that makes you, you have to reevaluate yourself. Okay, anything that gives you happiness, anything that gives you confidence, you have to start doing this. Anything that gives you good mental health, good physical health, you have to reevaluate on those areas. So that's mostly about the month of July, guys. So that's mostly what I wanted to talk about this transit. So if you like this video, guys, I would request you to press the subscription, to press the bell notification, and Pisces people, I would also, request you to write a comment. Okay. And I've shared my contact details. Anyone wants to connect with me with a one-to-one discussion around their chart, you can connect with me on the WhatsApp or on the email. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks a lot for your time. I'm going to come up with a complete Lakshmi Narayan Yoga, this series, just after this. So please subscribe my channel so that you do not miss any of those important events. One thing, I forgot to mention that again, this Saturn retrograde, is also going to impact people who are passing through with Saturn times, which is, Saturn Mahadasha, Saturn Antardasha, Saturn Sadesati or Saturn Dhaya. Okay, otherwise, this is again like, a drop in the ocean. So it won't impact you. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks a lot for your time. You have a great evening.